Mark. Good afternoon, my peoples. This is Thursday afternoon, another Awkward Beginnings segment. Um, I'm doing a live reaction to Kev Mack's channel. Everybody go over to Kev Mack channel, give him a subscribe, a share, and a like. Um, I've been fucking with Kev Mack for a long time, man, and I appreciate his will to do research and his will and his love for history, hood history, and you know, I think he got 150,000 subscribers, and he has a lot of passion for this history stuff. At least in his neighborhoods and the surrounding neighborhoods, in his part of town, and Kev Mack is generally a good guy. You know what I mean? He always looks out. If I ever need any help, he helps me out any way he can, and I appreciate him, man. And I appreciate him also allowing me to do a live reaction to one of his videos. And I believe this video is 3 or 4 years old. This is on OG Rebo from Park Village. He's an OG. He has since then passed away. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was a good dude, man. And um, let me get to it, y'all. But yeah, like I said, go over there to Kev Mack's channel and subscribe to his channel and show my brother some love, man. He looks out for everybody. He's like the godfather of the gang history as far as like YouTube and stuff like that, man. He's definitely one of the first, you know what I'm saying? So y'all go check him out while I find his channel real quick. Y'all be patient with me. All right, so y'all, here we go. This is Kev Mack's Rebo interview from Park Village. Y'all sit back and check this out, and y'all go subscribe to Kev Mack. Man, he's definitely like one of the forefathers of this YouTube history stuff. You know what I mean? And like I say, he always looks out for people on YouTube. He's interviewing OG Sag. Well, he has like a recurring series that's going on over there with Sag from Santana, and he always looks out for OG Sag too. He helps him out with his channel. So y'all go subscribe to OG Sag too from Santana. He has some great stories.
Yeah, Mac video. You know, this is for sure. Yeah, Mac video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Yeah, Mac video. You know, this is for sure. Yeah, Mac video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto. Hold up, for the dime moves and the lows.
I'm original Compton. Let me let you know where I'm coming from. off the top so there won't be no discrepancy. And if you don't know, didn't know, you will know a little bit. My name is Big Rebo, original Compton Grandy, CC Riley, Park Village Crib. I've been in this game a long time. I know a lot of legends off the top. Mac, Popcorn, King Neem, Frosty, Dinosaur, Lil Vic, Tyler Eyes, Carter, Salty, so many. King Rat, Big Ant. There's so many that I learned and that I know, and so many passed away. I can't help but what I am. I'm gonna die a crip. The law won't let me do it anyway, and I ain't trying to deny it. But I ain't a game banger. But my color's blue. But you can wear what you want. You know, it's about the respect you give. Nick could be blue down and still be a punk. But I love and respect all the homies. I know a lot of homies from East Set. Monster Cody from East A-Trade, Diamond, Nasty, Football. I know a lot of homies. A lot of homies from Tanner. Yogi, Bullet, Bloods killed Bullet. In the Big Ant, Anthony Malone, they killed Lil Frog. Then they killed Lil Greg right there in Ludus Park. My mother moved by Ludus Park. But I never stayed over there. But Big Ant and Better Dog Bruno and their mother stayed on Bullet, same road that I stayed. I never stayed over that long. But the Bloods was too thick and I was too wild.
Let's bring it back to your childhood. Where were you born and raised at?
I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana, 1957. From a small country town called Port Barre, Louisiana. We moved out here to California, I think it was 1966. Straight to Park Village. I grew up around good parent, good loving. Went to school, I didn't want for nothing. But I grew up around when the gang thing was being built, was flourishing. It was populating.
This was a great interview that Rebo did. I'm pretty sure that he didn't give nobody else an interview. For sure that he passed away. But yeah, this was like a legendary interview, and he had so many catchphrases that was used on this interview. You know what I mean? That Kev Mack may go back and say here and there. You know what I mean? And yeah, this is one of those interviews that Kev Mack got that are like um, that he cherishes, like the Monster Cody interview. Um, like in that area, there's a couple of people that he interviewed that shortly passed away. After the interview, man. And um, I would like to say I think Melly Mel said, man, when you got this kind of history, you're doing yourself and the black culture a disservice by not giving people your history. When you die without telling your history, it's like five libraries burning up. That's just like a saying that they would say. And it's always good, man. And if you're not going to give it to Kev Mack, at least document it for yourself. Start your own channel and document your own history. But don't die with that history, because years later, the white man will come around and tell your story the way he wants to tell it. So, document your history.
And I played ball, but I hung with a lot of homies that was game bangers. I wasn't a game banger at first. I just played football. But the girl I met that was with, I always had girls, she was staying in Blood neighborhood. 151. So the homies from the hood thought that I was a blood. Or they think that I was hanging with blood when I was hanging with Bobby Mitchell and Floyd Mitchell. I mean, Tommy Jones. So they came to my mother's house, Max, Salty, King, Rat, all of them. Matt Thomas, Lee Thomas, all the Thomas boys. They're like, Granado. I'm like, what's up? So I come outside, tight eyes. They always talk about this here they too. You wouldn't cripple and not like. And then King Rat said, no, man, y'all just leave him alone. And then Salty spoke up for me. Then they left. So one day I'm playing football. I'm going to football practice. I'm going to the Gonzalez Park. And mind you, I'm out there. You know, I'm in the 10th grade going to Gonzalez Park to play football. So they didn't mess with me because I told them I wasn't a blood. But on the way to Gonzalez Park, I met Icky Dawson, Daryl Dawkins, Bobby Lynn, Louis, and Bo Jangle. I was going to football practice at Gonzalez Park over here by the fire station. So I'm rolling. They pulled me over in the Blue Nova. Icky Dawson jumped up. What's up, Granado? You over there with them crabs? Bobby Jones, Bobby Louis, Kenny Bryant, and Bobby Preston. So they kicked my bike. Icky Dawson kicked my bike. And Buddy Powell tried to hit me. And then Kenny Bryant said, no, let Granado alone. He cool. He ain't no crab. But they bust me up and broke my bike. So they let me go. I picked my bike up, put it on my shoulder like this. And I walked all the way over there from by Benjamin O. Davis with my bike on my head, all the way to the village. Threw my bike down. Mom said, what's wrong with you, boy? Left, went straight to the Grandies. With Max Salties, King Rat, Honcho, all of them was up there. And they see me fucked up. What happened, Granado? I told them they jumped on me. Shit. When they jumped on me after that, me and Salty and Movie Star went rolled on them in their mama's car. I got on the bike and they parked around the corner and I blast. Come back. I've been banging ever since, my nigga. Hard than a motherfucker.
All right, let's rewind. You landed in Park Village in 1966 from Louisiana.
Yeah.
Explain the difference between living in Louisiana and the atmosphere of Park Village in 1966.
Well, in 1966, the difference was we came out here in our 4th grade. See, I was born in a small country town where you had bayou. We didn't have no toilet. Where you had to go to outhouse. My grandmama, she would ring the ducks. New Orleans is bayou state. So I was used to snakes, eating fish, eating good food. But when we came out here, like I said, I went straight to Compton. You know, we went back home for a couple of funerals and the Mardi Gras, but I was a young teenager, like 13, 14, young.
What was the racial makeup of Park Village back then?
Mostly blacks and Samoan. Park Village is the first to have the...
Let me share my experience with Park Village. Me and a couple of my partners, man, we would lose our money shooting dice at the bus stop on the laundry. The Gardena bus would take Compton High School from right there on the laundry, drop us off right in front of the Compton High School. But most of the time we would lose our money shooting dice on the bus and we would walk there. We'd probably get there around lunchtime. But we knew a couple of people that stayed in Park Village back in those days. Prime Time, Busy Bob, Peebo stayed on Taper, but no, he lived on Taper with my homeboy Micron, but he would always be over there in Park Village. He had people that stayed over in Park Village, but that would be one of the stops that we would stop, before we made it to Compton High School, and everybody wasn't allowed to go in Park Village because one thing about Park Village, they're very family-oriented project, you know what I mean? And you could lose your life over there for sure, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, Park Village is very mysterious place, but it was very family oriented. And if they loved you and they allowed you to come over there, they would take care of you. Just like you were born there. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you could have a lot of fun in Park Village. You know what I mean? A lot of stuff to do over there, but you did not want to be over there if you had problems with somebody over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, get back to it.
Samoan Crips ever was in Park Village Crip.
So when you landed Park Village, the population was half black, half Samoan.
It was white folk. So in 1966, coming out here, it was different. It was faster. Back then, we're in the dirty South, where it's like a jungle. It's like swamps, from house to house to house. Unless you go to the projects, where my grandmother and them stayed. In the French Quarter, the Ninth Ward, Third Ward, them the projects, and they dangerous.
Hey, what's the difference between Park Village and Wilmington Arms? Is that one and the same, or is that
That's
different?
the same. All that's the same.
So there's no walls that separate them, or no gates that separate them.
Yeah, it's a gate. When you see the Sunny Coast, that brick wall around there, all that's Park Village. The Wilmington Arm right there in the projects, that's Park Village.
It's like Park Village for the Samoans and Wilmington Arm for the blacks. Is that how?
No, it's all together. It's most Samoan on the old side. You got the old side of Park Village. All of it's Park Village. That's on the dark side. All of it's Park Village. The Wilmington Arm, that project, that's Park. They throwing up PVC. That's me.
You call it Moore Park. Because it wasn't even, Wilmington Arm wasn't even built yet. I was over there. We lived over there. They wasn't built yet.
No, but none of that built.
It was just fields.
So what was the first school you attended when you landed in Compton?
I went to Park Village Elementary School.
Okay. And from there?
And from there, I went to Benjamin O. Davis. And from there, I went to Compton. Then I went to Harriet Tubman.
Let me ask you this. So in middle school?
You talking about junior high school?
Junior high.
Yeah, I'm 62.
Okay.
Yeah, and when I was in Davis, I was like, 14, 15 years old.
So
in junior high.
So you was in elementary school when you first heard about Crips?
No. When I first heard about Crips, I was playing football. I heard about them from the east side, but I wasn't paying attention to them. Because I was playing football. I was an athlete. Slam dunk on your ass. On the real. A beast. Big repo. On the real. So, once they jumped on me, that was it. Once Bobby Lou and them, Kenny Bryant, Icky Dawson, and Bo Jenkins and them jumped on me, that was it. I never stopped banging. I started banging hard, then I got so hard, changed.
Yeah, that's part one, y'all. I'm gonna put on part two real quick for y'all. So hold tight with me real quick. Get to this part two for y'all real quick, like. But yeah, that was old Rebo, man. May he rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna watch part two real quick. We'll probably just do part one, part two, and maybe part three today. Maybe we can get to one of his detailed stories. Get to one of his stories, you know what I mean? Yeah, but this dude has some good stories, like county jail stories and stuff. Good dude, man. That passed away. All right, so yeah, here's part two. Part 2 coming right up, y'all. Here we go.
The Crips land inside Park Village.
What year they landed inside the Park Village? It had to be shit.
And who were they?
King Rat, Tight Eyes, Carter, Bo, Snake, Popcorn. I mean, there was a lot of them.
Are these all residents of Park Village?
All residents in Park Village.
What year is this?
Shit, you talking about, we were young too. We watched them build the Wilmington Arms and all that. We were young. We were like, shit, like I said, 13, 14. We were young when they was building this here.
Yeah, this is part 2, y'all. I think he's gonna tell a story about when they started building the Wilmington Arms, or Park Village is what they call it. But I guess he was around there before they even started building the other half of the projects. So here we go, y'all. See, this is what I like about Kev Mack. He'll go way back to he'll do his research, man. Y'all got to give him his for his research. He'll go back and get the old newspaper articles, the newspaper clippings, wherever he can find the history on it. So before you do an interview on Kev Mack, just know that he's did probably months of research before he even does the interview. You know what I mean?
Explain the difference from Boot Hill and Park Village.
Well, Boot Hill, a lot of people will come to Boot Hill. Everybody would go to Boot Hill after dark. Wasn't nothing but a lot of Park Village and the Grandies mixed together. Really wasn't no sets when I started banging.
Oh, so you left the pen at just a Compton Crip.
Right? Yeah. CC. Yeah. It really wasn't no set on the banging. It was Compton Crip, CC here, CC Ryder, Grandy. It wasn't no goddamn me front hood, corner pocket. None of that. It wasn't none of that. It was just straight Compton Crip, CC Ryder.
So you talking about the Crips now?
No, out here.
So who were the first Crips that you met?
Shit. First was Raymond Washington, Salty, Mac, Popcorn, Neem, Frosty, Deemna. Shit. King Rat, Tight Eyes, Roscoe, Took, Frog, a lot of Lil Vic. And everywhere I go, I represent this to the fullest. You know, they started banging for me, but when I started banging, when I pledged allegiance to be a USC, I outbanged them all. They ain't even in my league fucking around with this gang shit. On the real, my nigga, name ring like a church bell on Sunday morning. You know, as I sit up here fighting one of my biggest deaths of all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shoot.
I think we trying to figure.
He's saying that he's fighting one of his biggest enemies of all. He's saying that because he's actually fighting cancer in this video, which eventually took his life later on. But this was a great interview, man, that displayed all angles of his life, man, before he passed away. And like I said, man, if you got history, or you got history that you can tell to your people that can help your people, the younger generation. If you don't do it with Kev Mack or Melly Mel or Alonzo, start your own channel, but make sure that you um, tell your history. Before the white man come around and tell your history, and he's going to tell it the way he wants to tell it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was always told that saying that um, tell your history, man. When you don't tell your history, it's like 100 libraries burning down in the hood. So yeah, tell your story one way or another.
Figure out who planted Crip in Parkville.
I told you it was that King right here. This migrated. I really don't know who started it, but it just migrated like that. But I do know the first Samoan Crips that ever was in Park. Gamaliel Seeley, Guy and them, Fly.
The catnip.
Yeah, Catnip, all of them for the Grandies.
I know the catnip was catnip from Park Village.
No.
When you went in the pen and you came out, and Dalfred and all our cousins and shit was hollering Park Village.
Yeah.
You don't know where that shit started at?
Started in Park Village. They just started saying that. The youngsters, I don't know. My cousin Eddie Bo taught me how to do this. This right here. It took me like a day or two to throw my fingers up like this.
Let me ask you this. Who was your crew growing up as far as Crips? Who was your road dogs?
Bruno, Big Ant, all of them. Salty. My mama knew Salty. My road dog was Bitter Dog Bruno.
Salty had to be a good friend of Mom's, man.
Yeah. Moms know a lot of
Tell us about Salty.
them. Michael LeBlanc.
Who is Salty?
Him and Movie Star ran together. See, that started in shit. 1974, 75, 76, I started.
One thing about Kev Mack, when he does his research, he's gonna find old pictures. He's gonna find old articles from the news, from like old newspaper articles. You know what I mean? He's gonna make the story come together like a movie. He always does, and that's why all of the guys that does history on here, man, they're back to the fullest, and all of the real people that does interviews on Kev Mack that has came from the Kev Mack tree, like your cartoons, like your Melly Mills, like your SAG, like what's his name? Front Hood, the dude from Front Hood. Yeah, I forgot his name, but there's a lot of guys on YouTube, man. That Bam from YouTube. I mean, Bam from original Front Hood. There's a lot of them, man. That Loco from Texas '60s. There's a lot of guys that came from that Kev Mack tree, of YouTube. You know what I mean? And they all respect Kev Mack the same way, like the same way I do.
Banging. On the real. My mama was the first, she was the first one to bust me.
Chucky used to come by your house?
Oh yeah, Stanley Williams.
That was your partner?
Yeah, that's my boy. We used to drink Silver Satin together.
How and when did you meet Tookie?
I met Took in the Grandies. A lot of the homies, when I turned Crips, they were already banging. I wasn't so full like up in it. But I didn't get initiated or put on. See, back then, you had to get initiated. You had to walk through a line to get put on. I didn't. I chose. on Mount. It wasn't me walking me through no line. Once they done that, that show was over. Then I went to the country and put that down. I used to talk to wardens. They labeled me as a shot caller. But far as cripping concerned, when I first started cripping, we were CC Rider. Wasn't no front hood.
And what were the main encounters back then for Crips?
Right there in the Grandy's over there on Grandy, because the homies, people, folks, them owned them apartments, and we were all flocked through there, all on top the roof and everything. And then it spread that whole neighborhood back there. Nutty Block, all that was Grandy's.
Any other hangout spots you guys had?
I remember the Grandy's growing up. It's like a cul-de-sac of apartment complexes right across from the Compton Airport. Once you turn onto that street, it's just a bunch of apartment complexes all the way around. One way in, one way out. It's a horrible way to get yourself killed, going in there tripping. But it's right there in Nutty Block neighborhood. But that used to be the hangout for all of the Compton Crips. They would go over there and have meetings and stuff back in the days. This is what I was told also, what I mean? But all of the old Compton Crips would go over there and they would have their meetings. When I was young, when I was living in Compton, this was probably like, my first year at Compton High School was 1990. So when we would miss that bus, we would come down Alondra and we would walk through there. This is after they fixed them back up, because once upon a time they was kind of ran down. They had graffiti everywhere and holes in the walls, and it was kind of messed up over there. But eventually they fixed it up, and they cleaned it up real good, and now it's a nice place to live, for families and kids and stuff. But once upon a time, it was definitely a place you could have got your car shot up or something like that.
Sure. Hang out. I didn't go to no Blood Hood. I still don't go to Blood Hood. I don't go to. I went to Blood Hood one time. Fucked around, got fucked y'all. Me and Bruno. We go to Nicholson Garden and we see some females. And Bruno said, "Come on, man, let's go over here." So I go over there with Bruno. I see some girls going in the store by Nicholson Garden. I'm like, "Hey, girl," I'm like, "Come on, cuz." And I said the word "cuz." We went up in that motherfucker. We had to run up out of there. Bitter Dog Bruno was my road dog.
Tell us about Salty. You had mentioned earlier. Who's Salty?
He was cool and smart. Mount man. Mama had a 3-bedroom house. Killed it right in front of his yard, too. Movie star was in the other car with the gun. He was very mild-mannered. Mama knew him, very polite. Smart. That's when we started jacking with Salty. We started robbing.
That was his claim to fame, jacking.
Because it was real easy to rob. It wasn't no goddamn cameras. Still, I'm 62. It wasn't no camera. Now I got so many robberies under my belt. Excuse me.
That's all right. You were young back then.
Do not say that. Still on parole. Still on parole.
So how much time have you done in prison?
Altogether, 36 years.
Got some prison stories?
A whole lot.
Was the BGF active when you was in there?
Oh yeah, they wanted us to tuck our rag. That's when they come to slice me up, and I told them I wasn't gonna do it. But we had our rags hanging everywhere, and the police. It wasn't like it is today, where you don't have none of that. You got to remember, we're going back now, so we can have blue rags. Our family could bring us food, whatever we want, on visits. You can get contact visits, meaning you can go out there if you're married. You can go out there to a trailer every 4 months and have sex with your woman for 2-3 days, come back. So everything was wide open. We had the blue rag down. When I first get to the penitentiary, the main gangs that run the penitentiary was the BGF,
Blue Notes.
was the Black Gorilla Family, the Am Brotherhood, the ABs, the Northern Mexicans, the Norteños, and the Southern Mexicans, the Southsiders.
Just for the record, what year was this again?
Crips and Blood, this was in 75, 76, when I went to the penitentiary. 78, when I went to the penitentiary. They were prison gang. Crips and Bloods, we not prison gang. The ABs run the prison. ABs, Aryan Brotherhood, the Northern Mexican, Northern Familiar, the Southern Mexican, and the BGF. They were prison gang. Anyway, they wanted us to tuck our rag. So I fired on Suja. Man, fuck you. They said, man, nobody could talk to you, Rebo. Rebo, you got my real name, Grebo. So if you hear him say Grebo, then you know you're going all the way back. See? On the real. So I fired on him. And when I fired on Suja, man, fuck, we ain't talking nothing, cuz. So we all walked away. We go in our cells. Back then in Solidarity, we had cells, had keys. So I come out the next day and they rushed me. 3 of them rushed me, the BGF, and cut me up. And fucked me up. I got fucked up. Went to the hospital, came back. Shit. And it was on and cracking. Every time I hit the yard, I was stick.
What other Crips were on the yard with you back then? Any household names?
Doc from Harlem. James Miller from Harlem Godfather. Big Ant, Marcellus Robinson. Pinky, Donald Foster.
Where they from?
They from Grant.
All right, y'all. That's part 3, and I think, I guess that's part 2. I guess we'll watch part 3 real quick. So y'all be patient with me while I put on part 3 for y'all. Real quickity quick, like hold on 1 second. Let me put on part 3.
After the BGF stuck you, did they move you to another yard? Was it the war on or what?
They moved me to another yard, and then the homies, Big Ant and them took off. Heron died in there. Marcellus and them, they took off. And we started fighting them. All Crips started fighting from each set. Because we all came together to fight them motherfuckers. All sets.
Was the Vanguard in there during that time?
Then, after we got started, then the Vanguard started out over there in Tracy. They didn't start no Vanguard in San Quentin, Soledad. They didn't start that. That was down in Tracy. And Tracy was down south. And the homies formulated the car called Vanguard. You know, then they started CCOs.
You say the homies, did you join?
Oh no. I stayed one thing. Original Compton, Grant, Crip. I never changed. My mama told me.
What she said?
She said, Ganada. She said, you in the game. I said, no, mama, what you talking about? Now, we in Park Village. That's when after they done jumped on me.
Rest in peace to Rebo again, but his imitation that he did of his mom was so funny, you know what I mean? But it was so real though, and I never met his mom before, but his imitation for his mom was funny as hell, man. Rest in peace, old Rebo.
And everything, and I'm banging out the motherfucking game. But I'm trying to hide it from mama, but I made a mistake by hanging my blue flags up. And then plus, she started watching real close. I used to come home, I'm supposed to come home at a certain time, and I wasn't. But she started watching real close. So one day, she said, Granada, you in the game. I'm like, no, I ain't. Mama, what you talking about? Yes, you is. You and all the blue there. You, King Red, Dinosaur, Salty, all y'all in the game. You in the game with them. I said, Mama. She said, let me tell you something. Whatever game you in, you stay in that game, boy. Don't be jumping from game to game. I said, Mom, get out of here. You with them boys. You all game. You in that game. I'm like, Mama. She was right, though.
So y'all landed in the
But I never switched. I never changed nothing. Original Compton, Grandy,
So you guys,
CC Rider.
you guys landed there in '66. What year did y'all move?
Out of Park Village?
Yeah.
Shoot, I was shit.
I'm talking about your family all together.
Well, all of them didn't never move out. Still, we left. Some of them stayed.
My brother and my sisters, we all left. We went to Lucas Park. That's where I came in. You know, I'm from Lucas. I'm from Mod. I'm Pyro.
Wait, this is your bro right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You let him switch over like that?
No choice.
Nephew, West Side Pyro.
I stopped banging in '79. I was 10. I started like, man, fuck all this banging shit, man. I'm like, man, I'm with my family, my people. I started,
But you knew Big Bro was the OG.
oh yeah, definitely. All my cousins was Crips.
You go over there and visit.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 I go there and fight in the house from my skills. You know what I'm saying? You know.
But I
You got a kick out of that,
But he couldn't help it. The way he
I
raised.
was raised that.
When my
You know what
mother
I'm saying?
moved over there on Lewis Park on Bullets Road, it was never straight blood hood.
huh?
Before we broke
There
up,
was straight blood hood right there.
So you broke from the pen.
he came home to us.
Families in the
That's Rebo's brother in the background talking. I think he said he was he's a member of Ludus Park, I believe he said. But that's who I guess when Rebo got out of prison, he went to go live with his brother, his I believe which it was his younger brother, you know what I mean? He went to go stay with him. And I think that's where he died at his brother's house. He passed away living with his brother, I believe.
Lucas Park.
Yeah.
And how was the older Lucas Parks acting towards people?
I didn't stay long.
You came, they knew you was there because they used to always like check me. You know what I'm saying? He got out one time, you know what I'm saying, blued up, rags hanging. He made me walk to the store on B&M liquor store on Rosecrans and motherfucking Bradfield. He made me walk with him. Like, fuck this nigga over here. He walk over there. It just so happened the goddamn fucking LA County jail bus passed by. And they all, Big Rebo, what's up, us? So he over there doing this thing. So we walked by all the Pyrus, all the Lucas Parks in the mall, they hanging out there. So we had to walk right by them motherfuckers. We walked right by, nobody say nothing.
They knew I was
So
there.
then when I come back out late on that night, I like, now I'm finna get it. They're like, damn, blood, that's your brother? Yeah, man. They're like, damn, that nigga swole, blood. So when they said that, I'm like, man, this fucking game banging shit ain't really what it's about. So I would just kill my brother.
They gave Big Bro a
You feel
pass.
me? Because if I'm with this shit, I'm finna. That's when I decided I ain't gonna do that.
They used to pass by the house,
Because they just like
4-5 deep, and say, "It's a crab still over here."
Right.
But I never stayed long.
Did you know any of the OG Lucas Parks personally from back in the
Yeah.
70s?
Yeah,
Who you know?
Buddy Bryant, Kenny Powell, Bobby Preston. Yeah, on the real.
slide.
Bobby Lewis,
Well,
Slide.
Look, you was doing slide. Sylvester over there.
Yes, Slide. I know a lot of Bloods.
Old man.
There's Bloods neighborhood I'm not going to right now.
You can go to that one though. You can go to Lucas over there on Bullets Road, Rosefield.
No,
You was over there chilling all the time playing
Oh
basketball.
yeah. Yeah, they never fuck with us.
No, they ain't fuck with that over there.
No, they never fucked with us. But they knew we were there, and I didn't care. I cared enough. I used to come home late at night, too. Because I didn't want them. Now, Bruno's mother stayed around the corner on there with Morella. Big Aunt's mother stayed over there on Bradfield, smack in their hood. So you got 3 OGs stay in the hood. I stay on Bullets Road. Bruno stay off of Bullets and Elsmarilla. Big Aunt stay over there off of Bradfield. All blood. They killed Lil Greg. They killed Frog first over there by the pool place. Then they killed Lil Frog in the Lotus Park. Big Aunt brothers. Them Bloods did that. He from the Grandies. Robert Antonio Malone. They got hands. He out now.
Tell us about Mac Thomas. You know him?
Yeah, Mac Thomas was cool, man. Mac Thomas, Lee Thomas, always respectful.
Hey, what up, Smoked Out TV? Thanks for coming to check me out, man. This is a Kid Mac videos, his interview that he did with Big Rebo. Big Rebo passed away a couple of years ago, but he did this interview before he passed away. I think 4 months before he passed away. But yeah, I appreciate you coming to check me out, man.
Richmond Farm was relatively all blacks. Wasn't them the Mexicans wasn't there. I'm just telling the truth. They wasn't there. It was all blacks up in there, man. All blacks. And we would go over there at his house, and then we'd be in the farms while he messing with the horses. We'd be barbecuing. Mac was very respectful.
Mac had horses?
They owned the house in the Grandies. And that's when we would flock to his house. And Connie stayed in them apartments right there.
So the Thomas family were black cowboys of Compton, huh?
Yeah. Mac, that's what they wanted. It's a stronghold up in there in Richmond Farm. Then it became the Farm Dogs.
Mm.
You understand me? Still Richmond Farm.
Why is Mac Thomas associated with the Grandies?
Because that's where the first Crips ever started. The first Crips ever started was over there in the Grandies.
In Compton.
People didn't know that they had an area over in Compton, which is the Farm Dogs, where they got the black cowboys over there. You know, they rode horses. They had horse trails over there and shit like that, man. But they got Crips over there too now today still. You know what I mean? The history is that one of the presidents stayed over there. I think it was Bush. There was a couple of celebrities. I can't say right now which ones it was, but there was a couple of celebrities that stayed over there, like in the 50s and the 60s. You know, they grew up in the farms. Nice place to live too, man. If you're into that agricultural stuff, you know what I mean. Slick from Campanella lives over there. He got a big farm, you know, in his backyard. He got pigs, horses, chickens, everything over there, man. But yeah, the farm's is a nice neighborhood over there.
C.C. Riley, all them apartments right there, the homies and the people owned it. So everybody will flock over there. Big took all up. And in them apartments, we running in and out wild, ain't paying no rent, drinking goddamn silver satin. Motherfucker got Sherm going on, smoking angel dust, you know what I'm saying? On the real, that's what they're doing. I never like angel dust, you ain't gonna get me stuck and go in my pockets. You got me fucked up.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna put on part 4. Fuck it, I'm just gonna play all of them. Well, yeah, I'm gonna play pretty much all of them real quick. This is part E. Let me find part 4 for y'all real quick. It's OG Rebo, Park Village. May he rest in peace. Be patient with me while I get part 4 on for y'all. All right, y'all. Here go part 4. And thanks to everybody that's still here checking us out. This is a little Compton history for everybody. A little Compton history for everybody.
Found status of a farm dog, or that?
Yeah, because yeah. No, I give him that status. He got that status on the real. We should go there and party in the farm.
Let me ask you this: when Mac Thomas died, where did he die at? Grandy or a farm dog?
He died of Grandy. We all connected. Wasn't no sets even before. I remember, watch this, and the Long Beach gets mad. I remember when Long Beach ain't had no Crips. Crips in Long Beach when they had the Pike and all that. Nothing.
That shit was like a resort.
On the real.
So
and they don't want to hear that, but it's the truth. On the real.
What were the Long Beach kids do when y'all showed up to the Pike?
They wasn't doing nothing. They wasn't doing nothing. We was doing all the bang. Wasn't no Long Beach insane them. And then they come along.
what about the Gator Boys? They didn't have
Danny Gator, Randy Gator. I was in Solidarity with Danny Gator. Randy Gator. Then you got Danny Gator, Willie Gator. Willie Gator was one of the ones they first struck out. They started the insane.
They didn't have a problem with y'all coming to the.
No. Back then, we wasn't fighting each other yet. Wasn't really no beef.
But they wasn't Crips though yet.
You and your crew went down to the Pike. You guys never had no clashes with the dudes from Long Beach?
No, because I never did go to the Pike.
I remember going to the Pike as a kid, and they used to be cracking up there. They'd be fighting. They'd be fighting all around that motherfucker too, man. I was a little kid, and it'd definitely be gangs up there from everywhere, all over Compton, LA, Gardena, Carson. They'd be up there thick as hell. It was just like the spot to hang out at, you know what I mean? Like at nighttime, you would want to get your kids out of there, it would be an adult hangout, people up there drinking wine, you know what I mean? And it's going to eventually jump off, at nighttime. So I would say if you had kids, the safest time to get your kids in and out of there would be in the daytime. It was definitely popping up there.
That much. I didn't go to the Pikes. I went to Watts. We used to go to Watts Festival, and
some of the heavy hitters at the Watts.
And then see the Bloods will be there in the morning, and like if you go to the festival, Watts Festival, it's gonna be a lot of Bloods there. But when the evening come, then we come. The Crips come hard on the real, and they have the singers up there. Be multiple Bloods gone. Be multiple Crips all over. That when we wasn't fighting each other. Now it was Bloods against Crips back then. Then the war come within each other. Now you got sets fighting sets. Then here come the set start. But when I started, it was just CC Riders, Grandy.
When the Grandies was up and running, you guys was hanging in the Grandies. Was Boot Hill running at the same time, or one ended and another?
No, they were still running at the same time.
Who lived in Boot Hill?
Yeah, Boot Hill, Reggie. Boot Hill, it was all blacks.
What Crips lived? What members?
Grandies and Park Village. And Spook Town. Spook Town not too far. That's over there about in the back of Compton now. Spook Town and Red One to play the game and shit too.
What was Boot Hill? It was just an apartment building?
It just was some apartment buildings.
Any of y'all live up in there? Y'all just
a lot of homies in them stayed up in there. And we would flock over there.
What home?
All in the back.
What homies lived up in there? You could remember.
You had Boot Hill Reggie. You had Lil Vic. You had a lot of Crip Connie got an apartment for her cousin. You had a lot of them, but all that was blacks, and we would run in and out.
And what did they claim? Did they claim Grandy's in there, or they claim
Grandy?
Or did they claim Boot Hill Crip?
They Grandy's. It was all Grandy's. Then it turned into Boot Hill because everything was Boot Hill Reggie. Everything over there, all them apartments right there was all blacks.
Who's in there today?
Mexican, the whole time.
CB70s.
Yeah, 7 O's.
No one there?
Yeah.
Man,
They won with the Park Village.
7 O's.
And then the most stupidest gang ride there is Park Village against Santana Block. That's stupid. That's ridiculous.
That's some new shit though, ain't it?
Yeah, that's fucked up. How in the fuck?
That's 20 years though.
How in the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, 20
Look,
years now.
but listen though, I'm gonna tell you now. Look, how in the fuck Santana Block gonna get into a Parkville when I know Turtle, Mondo, Frog?
What about,
Come on, man.
What about your boy?
Who?
Your boy.
Then you had Baby Gang, but that's a messed up wall, and it's a wall that should never start. That's where you come sets fighting sets.
No.
See, I ain't never had a set fight over me or nothing, you know. But that's that new set
What,
shit.
Joe Rockhead?
Oh yeah, Rockhead.
Yeah, it's your boy. Remember, he was trying to when you paroled. My brother paroled here at this address. 'Cause my thing, when my brother went to jail, I stopped sending a nigga pack. I said, nigga, I ain't seen no more packages because my thing was to get this right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I said, nigga, I was in Frisco. He was in Pelican Bay. I was in San Francisco. Remember that, Rebo?
Yeah.
I was sending you packages from Frisco. This so happened. I moved to Frisco. He was in Pelican Bay. So, I'm sending him packages. At the bottom, packages stopped. I said, you know what, dog? Ain't no more packages. Ain't no more nothing.
Mm-hmm.
My whole goal is to have a place for you to parole to get home. That's why I moved here.
Then he saw me with Monster Cody in the garage.
Yeah, Monster Cody was in the garage over here.
When I came home, Monster Cody was in when you first met me.
Work. That nigga Monster, I came home mad in the motherfucker. I was mad as fuck. You know,
Two Crips in there.
I told you, don't bring your niggas to my goddamn. I got wife and kids here, nigga. But the nigga Monster fought that goddamn blood up. They was all good at it.
And nigga said, I got Big Rebo and Monster Cody sitting in my garage.
So look, when you was growing up in Compton in the 70s, what Mexican gangs were up and running back then?
You had the 151, the CB7, and then shoot.
CB3?
Yeah, the CB3, 151s. And then you start, the youngsters start with the 7 O's, but I ain't never had no encounter with the Mexicans.
So back in the 70s, you guys didn't interact with them?
No, there wasn't that many. They wasn't outpopulating like they is now. Excuse me. They outpopulating us. There ain't no hood that you can go to unless you go in these projects where you're gonna see predominantly black. No more.
Mexicans in the home?
Yes, Mexicans in there.
They ain't what
But predominantly black.
Ain't no gang, no.
Yeah.
The armed?
Park Village.
No, the Mexicans.
Oh no. If they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing.
So were you ever on the street to attend high school, or you just using YA all the time?
When I attended high school, no, I was on the streets. I went to Harriet Tubman.
Where's that at?
That's a continuation school. After I got kicked out of didn't do good in Compton High, I went to Harriet Tubman. Graduated from Harriet Tubman.
You was at Compton High. What Crip sets were there?
Grandy wasn't no bloodstick, all Crips, Grandies. Compton High was the only school that had all Crips. You go to Dominguez, got Crips and Blood. You go to Centennial, Crips and Blood. But Compton High, we never had nothing but Crips.
All right, y'all. This is let's see. We're gonna get to part 5. Let's see, let's find part 5 for y'all real quick. Watch all of them, man. It's good. This is good shit right here, y'all. I enjoy Kev Mack interviews, man, and his history, his research. Um, it's always good. It's always good info, man. Let's see. All right, here's part 5. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Got tattooed. See, when I pledge allegiance to be a USC, you know what USC mean to me?
What?
United States. I wasn't Bush.
Uh,
But I'm sorry in a way because I shouldn't have done that. I mean, could have led a better life.
The Grandies. Did you guys hang up in Carver Park?
Yeah, we used to go to Mona. We used to go all over. Travel to Mona Park, fucking with Lionel now. Then we used to go to Front Hood.
all right, y'all. This is part 5. I'm gonna try to bring all of them to you. It's good history we got right here, man. Rest in peace, Rebo. This is a good dude, man. Yeah, so yeah, this is part 5 for y'all, man. Y'all check this out. Hey, thanks Classic Hustle for keeping up with this stuff for me, man. And thanks for coming to fuck with me.
Fucking with Craig Recall, Pep Bull. I used to travel to every set, but then the sets came out. We would go to all sets. And when I came out, Crips wasn't fighting Crip. We was too busy fighting them Bloods.
Park Village. The first Samoan Park Village Crips. Who are they?
Was Gary Malaya, Hyena, Sealy, Fly. Yeah, all them Samoan. Can't think of all their names. They right now.
Were they different from the black Park Villages or one and the same?
Who was the other Samoan? No. We turned them into Crips. We used to fight to play football against, but we outnumbered them. I was a beast. I'm 6'9", 62, but I wasn't playing, not the baddest. I was always sociable and cool on the real.
So let me ask you this. So now you in the penitentiary doing all this time, and you running across your homeboys from Park Village that are Samoans. Are they running with the blacks and the Crips, or are they doing something different?
They running with the blacks. They eat with the blacks. They socialize with the blacks. They don't go on the white side where the white boys and the Mexicans and other people be.
Let me put it like this: if the blacks or Crips get into a riot, or the Park Village Crips from the Samoans that are from Park Village, are they riding with the blacks and the Crips during riots, or are they sitting it out?
Now they riding with us. We used to play football against
You used to play football against the Samoans?
the Samoans. Then we had a couple of people. We were too strong, and then we had too much guns. They turned Park Village, and they represented to the fullest right now. Right now, and they got some in Utah. First Samoan Crips there ever was Park Village. That's why, I mean, you know, that's just the way that is. And they represent that to the fullest thing. And they represent that to the fullest. When they go to the child hall.
All right, y'all. This is part 5, and like I said to everybody, go over there and subscribe to Kev Mack's channel, and go give him a like and subscribe and follow. Go down his catalog, man. He got a lot of great interviews, man. He's got good stuff over there, man. He's a good dude. He always looks out for me, and I appreciate Kev Mack. You know, this is one of his legendary interviews. He also has the Monster Cody interview. I think it hit 1 million views. You know what I mean? And that's one of his great interviews. You know, Rockhead, Melly Mel. There's a lot of people that came off the Kev Mack tree. You know what I'm saying? Like I would like to say, but yeah, this is part 5, y'all. So check it out.
They eat with us. When they go to the yard, they kick it with us. When they go to the store, they mingling with whatever they do, they with us. They're with blacks, the Samoan Park Village.
It's one Samoan Park Village I always hear about.
Roscoe.
Roscoe.
Tell me about Roscoe.
Oh, that's the young home. He grew up in Park Village.
Why is his name always being brought up when you hear about Samoans in Park Village? Why him? What's his claim?
Because he always into stuff. The young man, all of them younger than me, always into stuff.
So there are a bunch of mixed black and Samoans, mixed race blacks and Samoans inside Park Village.
Yep, I had two Samoan girls. One I had, my cousin got 2 by Samoan. We used to go to Luau when they cooked the pig. See, Samoans been there a long time. And these Samoans from Park Village, they Crips. They Crips.
You said they used to cook the pig?
In the ground with the luau.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the whole Park Village smelling like pig. Every year, around a certain time, they have a luau. And they'll dig a hole. This when Park Village, before the Wilmington Arms was built, before the Sunny Coast, they would have a luau. They would have a luau in 5 or 6, 8 apartments where they cook pig in the ground. And you could smell it. And they'd be dancing the hula. We'd be getting drunk. Yeah. And the girls be dancing hula and shit. And they cooking the pig. All that, cooking all type of exotic food. And they just party.
Like in Hawaii or something.
Yeah, that's the way it was, called a luau. And every year they would do it. And in Park Village, before the Wilmington Arm was built, before the Sunny Cold, before anything.
It wasn't even built. We had monkey bars.
What was there before it was built? What was there?
It was nothing. Just fields and monkey bars.
Nothing. Oh, my cousin Eddie Bo got 2 babies by one. You know, Dexter had a few. They got good love.
Does he got a few kids by Small?
No, he got a few. He had a few.
What?
Let me ask you. You said there was a few white people in the Arms or Park
in the
Village,
village, yeah.
Park Village.
When we moved in here.
Did any of them guys turn Crip?
No, we were young then. White folks moved when we outpopulated.
How about Goldie? You know Goldie?
Yeah, I know Goldie.
Is he a product of Park Village or did he move over there and convert?
Goldie a product Park Village.
There's a story on YouTube of that dude Goldie. He's one of the few white boys that was over there, put in work. He's doing life right now. David David J. Livingston. But if you look on YouTube, you search him up on YouTube, they got his whole story. I forgot the channel that's actually giving the story. It's one of those gang channels, but yeah, they pretty much give up the whole story about this dude, man. He was a cold brother.
Yeah, he younger than me. All of them younger than me, but he from Park Village. Squally brought him to the hood.
Squally?
No, Big Squally. Yogi's brother. So many Park Village tell us a shame.
You say brought him to the hood, where they find him at?
Who?
So
I don't know where they found him at, but I met him through Yogi now. He's always cool. We didn't beef. And then goddamn that penitentiary war wasn't no joke.
yeah, tell us about the penitentiary wars.
Shit. They got into it with the white boys. They called us niggers and shit. Our biggest war though, after we fought them, after we liberated the BGF, was with the Southern Mexican, the Mexican Mafia, the Southern Mexican, because they were very heavily populated in the pen.
All right, y'all. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna watch part 6 too. This will be the last episode that I watch. We're gonna we're gonna watch 6 real quick, man. So y'all be patient with me. Let me find part 6 real quick. Thanks everybody for coming to check me out. I'm gonna start doing these live streams a little bit more. Yeah. All right, yeah, we here on see part 6. Part 6. Y'all be patient with me. Alrighty. All right, y'all. This is part 6. Let's get to it. Part 6, y'all.
I've been to the hole 3 times before I went to Pelican Bay. I always stayed in the shoe program because I always had beef. I was working in the kitchen passing knives, and then when it come down,
Yeah, this is part 6 for y'all. And I think from here on, he gave a lot of his stories from when he went to prison. He was part of CCO, I believe, and um, yeah, he gives a lot of detailed stories about his prison time. You know what I mean? And it was pretty good. You know what I mean? So you check this out, Big Rebo. Um, or yeah,
on the stick, nigga, we took flight.
Were there any Crips or Bloods that joined BGF before you got there?
Yeah,
Why you was there?
It's a few homies that joined the BGF. Then they got back out of it.
Damn.
You came home?
Yeah. I didn't join nothing. I didn't need to.
Why not?
I'm already a Crip.
All right. So when the Crips started,
so yeah, so I was wrong. I guess he never joined CCO. He just remained Park Village. You know, um, he didn't get a part. He wasn't part of no prison gang. He just remained. He just stayed Park Village.
started unifying in there under CCO and Blue Note. Were you around for that?
Yeah. That started when I was about when I had got that 19 years. I met Spark from Raymond Street Crip. And he told me they started the CCOs and the Blue Note. He said, Repo, you don't. Called CCOs. And they pledge allegiance into it.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. This is him giving his prison stories.
Then some started the Blue Notes. It was on the east side. They started their thing. And all of them had their different politics. Now, got into none of that. But a lot of homies started the Blue Notes.
Why you didn't get in there?
Because I wasn't there at the time. And they never pushed it on me. I didn't have to. I never done that. They never.
Which group were the Compton Crips joining? CCO or the Blue Notes?
CCOs, a lot of them. Both. They were Crips.
Who would you recommend?
I was just Big Rebo, attacking and going to the visit and banging like a motherfucker. But I was cool. I was always sociable. I talked to wardens. I got homies out the hole. Lil Jock, Blue, they talk about it today in the hood. Yeah, Big Rebo worked for the warden and that. Shit, I couldn't help it if I was social. I was always a sociable brother. And once I settled down and became a full-fledged man and let the violence come out of me, then I started using my natural character where I could talk to the officer, talk to the sergeant, talk to the lieutenant, talk to the captain. Then I started talking to the social warden. When shit would jump up on the yard, they'd be on the yard in the gun tower looking, seeing who they think that can call the shots or have more influence. And they chose me up through, hey, through time, that's just what it is. But I was always sociable when shit get funky on the yard. Because I can stop or I couldn't. I was the lead man in the kitchen for 8 years, passing knives. The ball was on. but we outpopulated the BGF. Ain't no more of them.
Who are populated?
The Crips. We outpopulated them. They not in existence.
So
Crips fight their own self now in jail. That's crazy.
So at one point in time, EGFs and Crips were enemies in prison?
Yeah, always, yeah. That's how I got into it with their ass.
When you start suit shop.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck?
Yep, I'm not, fuck that. I ain't talking shit. On the real. And they got my ass too.
They stuck him up.
When did you parole? What year?
What you mean, my last parole?
Your last parole.
I ain't too long got out. No, for real.
How much time you did on this last one?
I got 3 years in this one. I got busted with 4 ounces of water. I just took a deal. So they wouldn't give me enhanced or problem.
What you doing with that water, nigga?
I was dropping it off.
Damn. Why you ain't tell me?
That's how I'm on parole right now.
That's why I couldn't find it. Remember the text message? I don't know who my brother is.
Oh,
Real.
Yeah.
So what was the longest time you ever done? In one set?
Like 13 when I got that 20.
What year was that?
Shit. We had robbed the Home Depot.
84, 85.
84, 85.
Only
Yeah.
why I know this stuff, man, because that's my idol right there. That's my brother, man. It was hurting my heart.
We robbed the Home Depot
Hurt my
for
heart
40-something
every time
thousand.
he win, bro. Every time, man. And he always goes, the Home Depot over there, motherfucking goddamn Hawthorne.
Back in
Gardenia.
Back in '84, you got 40,000 out of a Home Depot.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now, how we get into the robbery was one of my cousin's boyfriend. Her baby's daddy worked in there, and he saw a way that we could jack it. So we go through there, and we walk. We did previews. We just went through there and saw which way we had to do it. Me and Eddie both. So he told me, Grant, George, remember George?
Yeah, I know George.
He worked in there, and he showed me which way to go. He said, look, man, call me Grant. Now, I'm a jacker. Fuck that, I'll jack your ass. Back then, but anyway, so I look, we look, me and Daphne, and then see money, me and Eddie both. I seen where they put, they said, you gotta go this way. See, they dropping the money down here, Grant. And you rob.
Hey, thanks for checking me out, man. What was that? American Hassani. All right, for sure, man. Thanks for checking me out, man. If you can, hit that like for me, man, and share this video. I appreciate you, bro. Oh, Evil, what up, brother? Thanks for coming through. Check me out, man. I'm watching a little story on Rebo, man. Kev Mack interviewed this dude Rebo from Park Village before he passed away. This was probably like 4 months before he passed away. He was a OG over there, man. So yeah, man, I'm checking us out. Thanks for coming to check me out, brother.
Ah, man, it's money up in there. All you gotta do is come down. When I say you to go down with the card.
So we come back with Quan. Now he got Quan, the driver.
Right.
From Main Street. He's from Main Street. He was mixed with some other ways, Chinese and whatever. Now he was the driver, so we go up there. Now Quan Park. Me and Eddie both go in there. We go in there with the car and go exactly where the money come down at and everything, where they stand, save everything. So we go in there and jack, boom, get the money. Jack the man. Jack took all the money. Go on the other one. Boom, come on, Eddie Bo. George did like this. Now George in that, go. Now we gone, boom. Now we come outside. Now we got change and everything. That bags full of money. We come outside. Now when we come outside, we don't see the car. Quan. We like, Eddie Bo say, Grant, Rebo. He said, man, I don't see the car. That dude gone. I'm like,
bad news.
I'm like, what the fuck? Now here we is. We done robbed the Home Depot, got there with bag. Nowhere to go. I swear to God, Eddie Bo looked there. He said, Grant, we got to run over there by the freeway. And I'm looking, the freeway's over there. The freeway, that's the only way.
What city we in right now?
We in Gardena.
On 110.
Yeah, we in Gardena. Now we're in the middle, we damn near in the middle with the store with the bag. He got 2, I got 2.
We get ready to go. I drop the bag. We done with the change. I stopped to pick that. Leave that change alone. So we break. We go across the street. Now here go the freeway like this. Freeway on real talk. Freeway got lanes like this. Woo, woo, woo. Now, in order to get across the freeway away from the store on the other side of the freeway, we had to go through the lanes that the cars going like this with the bags of money. So we run across the lane. Yeah. We're on the other side. And then we hear like 8 or 9 helicopters just came everywhere. So what we done, we hit on the side of the freeway, on the side down there, for about 2 or 3 hours, till within the wee hours of the morning. Then look, here it is, they start going to work. Now the police gone. We're in some bushes. When the
Yeah, this is why I say, man, that it's important to tell your story. You know, it's always important to tell your story, man, because 10 years from now, some white person would have came and told this guy's story. You know, this dude has a great story. You know, I always like to say, man, when you don't tell your story before you pass away, it's like five libraries burning down in the hood, man. So, you know, whether you get your own channel or you go on somebody like Kid Mack and tell your story. Tell your story, man, before it's too late. You know, you don't want to die with that story because it could help somebody. And thanks for coming to check me out, man. I made you a moderator on here. So whenever you come on and shit, you're a moderator.
when the police gone, we get out and we crawl from under the bushes. On the side of the freeway, got them plants, we crawl up in there and hid. We come from under there, they're going to work. We come out with the money. Wrapped them up, took our shirts off, wrapped the bags up. He had big bag, I carried on the back. And walked all the way home with the money.
Where was home at?
To Park Village with the money. Got away with it. Quan get busted on the murder. George get busted because they say George had something to do with it.
Where George from?
He's from Park Village. He's Mr. White's son.
George. Dino Hudson. He's from Park Village?
Yeah, but he don't bang.
That nigga's a buster.
Yeah, he was busted.
Fuck that thing.
That nigga told police everything.
Everything. I remember this.
He told the police everything. And Quan told, because he got busted on the murder, police, come get me. And had me for robbery, double kidnap. Because when we robbed the people, we took them and laid them down. Walked them to the back. Boom. Took them and laid them down to the safe. Boom. So it's robbery, kidnap. I'm talking about from here to the other yard. Now that's robbery, double kidnap. And one kidnap carry life. So long story short, they told on me. Now,
You going to Torrance Court, huh?
yeah. So
Torrance ain't no joke.
they come get me. They told on me. Jordan told on me because they figured he had something to do with it. And then Quan told on the murder. That nigga get up and said and told that I was the one robbed him. So what I done, they offered me a deal. 19 years. Said, Mr. Bowman, one time. I said, man, what's the deal right now? He said, Mr. Bowman, I just got out. He said, Mr. Bowman, if you don't take this deal, he said, do you realize what you got? He said, you got robbery, double kidnap. They got you where you walking to people, because I'm walking from here on the other side of the house. That's kidnap. So this is one time only. I said, what they offering, man? I was willing to take 22 something. I ain't taking that lie. I got two.
My nigga, 19-year deal, nigga.
He said, 19 years. He said, we give you 19 right now.
You didn't counter?
I said, right now, he said, this is it, man. He said, I tell you what, lunchtime, come back. I said, the deal is still here? He said, yes. I said, give me the 19. No one else went to jail. I made sure. I said, but what about Eddie Bo, my little nephew? He said, Mr. Bowman, looking at your record, all they want is you.
All right, y'all. This is the last episode. This is part 7. So yeah, y'all be patient with me. put on part 7 for y'all. It's a good story, y'all, wasn't it? This this is the last episode, part 7. Let's see.
After the BGF stuck you, did they move you to another yard? Was the war on or what?
They moved me to another yard, and then the homies, them Big Ant, and them took off. Heron died, and then Marcellus and them, they took off. And we started fighting them. All Crips started set because we all came together to fight them motherfuckers. All sets.
All right, hold on, y'all. That wasn't part 7. Let me get to part 7 for y'all.
video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Yeah, Mac video. You know, this is for sure. Yeah, Mac video. Represent your ghetto, baby. For the dime moves and the lows.
I'm original Compton. Let me let you know where I'm coming from. Off the top, so there won't be no discrepancy. And if you don't know, didn't know, you will know a little bit.
Well, man, I can't find part 7. Thanks everybody for coming, checking me out, man. Y'all go follow Kev Mac, subscribe to his channel, and y'all enjoy y'all Thursday, man. All right.